So, you're working for yourself, right? And you've probably been told to hustle about 1,000,000 times. But what if that's actually terrible advice? Today, we're diving into something called modern hustle theory, and it's not about working harder. It's about completely rethinking how you build your business and really, your whole life on your own terms.
Let's be real for a second. If you're an entrepreneur, motivation is probably the one thing you're not lacking. You've got the drive. Another inspirational quote you see on social media isn't going to build your business, and it's definitely not going to buy you back any of your time. The real gap, the thing you're actually missing, is something else entirely.
So if more motivation isn't the answer, then what is? What's that missing piece of the puzzle that actually moves the needle? You know, the thing that separates the people who are just spinning their wheels from those who are building something that lasts.
And there it is. That's the answer. It's not about more effort. It's about better systems. It's about building a machine that works for you, even when you're not there pushing all the buttons. This is the big mental shift, right? Moving away from trading your time for money and towards building assets that create value all on their own.
Okay, so to really get why this new way of thinking is so powerful, we first have to talk about the old way, what we can call the hustle culture trap.
This question, it probably hits close to home for a lot of you. It's that feeling of being on a hamster wheel, right? You're putting in all the hours, you're doing all the things you think you're supposed to do, but the results and the freedom you were promised, they're nowhere in sight. That is hustling blindly. And this slide really just lays it all out. Look at the contrast here. On one side, you've got the old hustle. The math is simple and it's brutal. If you want more output, you have to put in more hours. And that always leads to burnout. But then you look at the other side, the modern hustle. It's not about more time. It's about smart systems. It's about using automation to get leverage. And the ultimate goal? Freedom.
So once we all agree that the old way is broken, that's when a new theory can rise from the ashes of that burnout culture. This is the modern way forward.
And here it is, the official definition. Modern hustle theory is all about deconstruction. It's about looking at what the most successful modern solopreneurs are actually doing and then decoding their playbook. And the key words here are crucial. They think differently, they work differently, and because of that, they scale differently, and they often do it without a massive team.
You know, this isn't just a bunch of random tips. It's a whole philosophy. Think of it like the new operating system for a whole generation of entrepreneurs who are building incredible businesses on their own terms, using strategy and tech to play way bigger than they are.
Okay, so theory is great, but how do you actually use it? How do you put it into practice? That's where we get into the blueprint. This is the practical, step-by-step part of it all.
This breaks down the 4 core mechanics. First, you leverage AI tools. They're basically your new interns, helping you draft content, analyze data. They instantly cut your workload. Second, you apply proven frameworks. Stop guessing and reinventing the wheel. Third, you take all that time you've saved and you channel it into creating scalable digital income, like a course or a membership. And finally, and this is the magic step, you automate the whole thing so it runs and scales without you having to be there 24/7.
So what's the payoff for doing all this? Well, the outcomes are pretty incredible. You're not just working less, you're actually achieving more. You're taking your unique skills and turning them into real assets that generate income, and you're building systems that let you, as one single person, have the impact of a much bigger company.
Which brings us to the end goal, the big why behind all of this. Because it's not just about building a more efficient business, it's about what that efficiency gives you.
And I really want to be clear about this. Everything we've been talking about, it's more than just interesting information. It's not just another business strategy.
This is it. This is the ultimate promise. Freedom. Freedom from trading every waking hour for a paycheck. Freedom to work where you want, when you want. The freedom to focus on the parts of the work you actually love because you know the systems you built have your back. That is the whole point.
And so that really just leaves one last, very personal question. You've seen the trap of the old hustle, and you've seen the promise of this new theory. You've seen the blueprint. So the only question left is, are you ready to start building yours?